This conference will now be
It's
recorded.
being recorded now. So if Anil joins in, then we'll see. Will you be able to respond? I mean, do you have a mic there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, just
So let's just start it then.
okay. That's fine. If he can join, I mean, we can start, and afterwards
Uh,
he can join, right?
yeah. So yesterday we discussed about different types of report, right? We created one Tableau report also in here,
Yeah.
and we saw like how we can change the items in it, like to make it drop down from using the by using the LOV defined in the shared component. We change the manager also here. I mean, by default, it will read the. I mean, whenever you create anything, any report, any page, in basically a form in Apex, it will read the data type of the column in there, and based on that, it will decide which item uh, will be suitable for that kind of data type. Suppose you have a varchar2 column, and it's for certain lesser length, so it will create a text field. So if it is of more length, it will create a text area. Similarly, if you have a date column, it will create a date picker for that. So it will do like that. So, and then if you want to do some modification, you can anyway go back and change that data type, I mean item type. So let me see the I hope you are able to. I have to share my screen, right? Hmm. So
It is visible.
visible, right? So yesterday we did these things, right? Sixth. Yesterday was seventh, right? Seventh. This is seventh, right? This is for today's session. So page process application items. So today we will start with forms. So form, the difference between report and a form is like report is supposed to view the data coming from a source. That
So
source can be a table.
are we done with the reports?
Not yet. I mean, those four type of reports we have pending. We did not discuss it. Actually, I did not get a chance to go through that. So we
Okay,
will
okay,
leave that. Those, I mean, those four are not that much use. I'll just show it to you once how to create it. And
okay,
let's begin with form at the moment. Those four
okay,
reports we'll cover later. Huh?
okay, okay.
Okay. So so now this today we are going to discuss the forms. So I will create a navigation menu for that. Navigation menu in the sense like we have reports here, right? If I minimize the report, all the report will come here. So I will create a new navigation menu. So whatever forms I will create, I will simply put those forms into that navigation menu. So I will create forms. Okay, page in this application. So which page would be using? So this one is 45. So let's use you'll use the page number 50. Okay, and parent is home. I'll create it. So once I refresh this, I should be able to see that entry at least. But as this page is not defined, if I click on this, it will give me a like this page is not defined. Okay, sorry, this page is not available. So I will go back and go back to the application and create a page. So you have this report here, you have a form next to it. So I will click on this form. So what all different types of forms we have is listed here. So to create a form, in most of the cases, you will not be selecting any one of these. Why? Because uh, eh, forms are sometimes more customized than I mean, it's so much customized that we cannot put a simple type of form available in one of these. So in that case, what we do, we create a blank form, a blank page, and in that page we will keep on adding different items. So I will add page 50 as I'm going to use it. So employee form. So form will be a little bit more challenging and difficult as compared to the report. In report, what we do, we just give a SQL query, or sometimes if it is using a single table, we give the table name and select the column. That's it. But in form, there are so many things. The first thing is to define the items. Then you have to align them, like how should be the look and feel. That is second thing. And after that, you need to write. You need to create a button, few buttons like cancel button or delete button and save button and create button. These four types of buttons you will need, and then you will select different actions for these four buttons. And once you do that, you need to write processes. Processes will be of two types. One process will be used when you submit a page. Basically, when you create or update a record into a form, and that updated value or updated result set should go into that table. So that process will be run on a button click. One different type of process, as I have already mentioned, will be written before the page loads. Basically, in case of updates, when you want to update some existing record, so that data has to be, be pulled in from this table into this form page. So that is a different type of process. But both of these process will be written in PL SQL. The process which will be used to populate the data will be uh, basically a select statement, and the process which will be used to make the changes into the table will be mostly updates and create insert and updates. Okay, so we'll just create a employee form, a normal page. Let's create a model dialog because that will look more I mean user friendly kind of thing, because we don't have so many items, right? So right now it will not let me create let me add into the second level of tab. So this is the top level, this is the second level. Report and form are the second level. So whenever I'm creating a new entry, it will either it will only allow me to add it under home. So once the page is ready, I can go back, and it is doing it. I think I clicked it twice, so let's see what it does. So as this there was message, right? The Oracle website will be down for 1 day, so it will be from tomorrow morning, I guess. So anyway, tomorrow we are not going to have any class, so it will be down
Yeah,
from tomorrow morning till Sunday morning for 8 hours. It will be
yeah, yeah.
down. So we should not be bothered about that. Yeah, this has got created, but I believe this is corrupt or what? Okay, let me delete
Yeah,
it.
if we get such a message, okay, we need to delete that such kind of page, right? If we
Yes, yes, yes.
click it twice or thrice.
Yeah, in that case, you better delete it and then recreate it from the beginning, and
Ah,
that would be better, because if you do some
yeah.
modification, you don't know. Page deleted, so I will create a new page. I will add a blank page again. So it will be page sequence will be 50. Employee details, model dialog. Do not use breadcrumb. I will not create an entry because I have already created an entry, right? So finish. form is gone, so I will have to create it. Wait a second. Mm, it would be under home form 50. So when I refresh it, that form will come. When I click on it, it will launch it like this. So right now this page is having nothing. So we'll keep on adding different components into it. Uh, so can we just have the list of columns present in? We'll use the employee table because I mean, whatever we can do with employee table, we'll be able to do with multiple or big tables also. Select all from EMP. So sometimes what happens, no? I mean, when you go with options like create report on a table and things like that. Suppose if you have more than one table, some fields are there, and based on that, some calculations have to be done, and so those fields, you will do some calculation using the values present in those fields, and then finally you will insert the value into the table. So in most of the case scenario, I mean, creating a form on the table itself won't help. So in that case, you'll be going manually, with manual approach. So this is the same way we created commission in the department, right? It is not coming down. Okay, so let me put it into text field. Hmm. Okay, so this is base 50, so I should be using the 50 underscore. So these all things we need. So employee number I will not be using because this employee number is generated using a sequence, right? So we will not add this employee number. We'll just start with employee name. So quickly I will go and create a region first because I cannot add items without creating a region into it. So first create a region. I will put it as employee details, and I will not show the header just to make it a little bit compact. So once this is created, I can go back and create a page item. So this will be employee name, then another item. This would be job. Then we have manager. Then we have hire date. Then we have salary. And then we have commission. So because of these things, creating a form is a little bit more tricky or complex. So once you put the department number, no, the label will automatically change. So let's select a meaningful label for this different items. Hire date is fine. This would be a date column, right? Date. Manager. Okay. So let's change the template of these as optional. Optional manager is a select list. So I will use that same LOV that we created for the employee. Display extra value no, display null values. Hire date is date picker, and the template appearance template I'm selecting for all of them as same. This is a salary field, so it should be a free form text. Commission, so it should be optional. Department number should be a select list. It should be optional as well, and it should be a shared component. I can use that. Department LOV, display extra value no, null. So what I did, I created, let me summarize this. So I created 7 items. So these 7 items is nothing but they are corresponding to the columns present in the table. So I did not use the employee number because employee number will be generated by a sequence next value which is present in a before load trigger defined on the table. So that is one thing. If it is not defined on the table, we can use that in the page itself. Then I changed the template of all of these because to make it smaller. So now what I'll do, I will change the um, alignment. So like if you say the layout, all of them are coming in next line. So I will start with I will make them come in the same line. So salary also, commission also will not come in next line. Department will be no, and salary will be yes. So like this it will come. So this is done. So if you refresh the page, sorry, if you refresh the page, you will see the data is coming like this. Okay, so salary, this is the commission, this is hire date, manager, those things are fine. Job, commission, department, department. So if we would have left department as the text field, so it would have uh, expected the user to given the department number right here. So how would the user know like what's the department number? It should be a select list, right? Because once I select accounting, Apex will convert this accounting entry to the corresponding return value, which is 10, I guess, and it will insert that into the table. So when I refresh it, I will see that all the labels are updated now. So now what I'm supposed to do? I can put some name here, something manager. I will select manager. Uh, this is a date picker, right? Why did not get converted to date picker? What's the issue? Let me log out. I guess maybe after that. It's not happening. Let me completely log out once more. Because yes, that day we were not able to create that select list, right? So when I logged in this second day, I was able to do it. It's not coming. Let me do one thing. Let me go and edit this page, and I can this is a bit smaller, right? So I will change the layout of this page to stretch to fit. So there is an option like if you go to the select the page and go to the right hand side appearance, you can select this stretch to fit, and once you do that, and let's click on this again. So it has, see, the date picker is there, it's not coming just that. So I will use another property which is remove body padding. Let's see what it does. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's make it a normal page.
So can we do that one thing over there in yeah, here we can have page info.
Page info, which one?
uh, yeah, not here on that employee detail page. Yeah, page info, click on page info, show layout columns. Okay,
So
so
you want me to reduce the
so so
length?
so these employee name labels, we can span that things to, you know,
Yeah,
first column.
yeah, that thing we can do. So if you have the employee name is the first, right? So you can go to that column. Suppose, see, the entire page is divided into 12 columns in this template theme. Okay, so you can allocate those 12 columns. You can divide those 12 column spans into these items. So suppose 12 columns, 3 items per row. So each of these items will be given 4 columns, and out of those 4 columns, one will be used by the level, and second, 3 will be used by the items. So what I will do, I will start it with the column number 1, and label will be 1. So like this I can give. So for this also, column will be 1, span will be 4, level I will give it 1. So now I have consumed, in this particular row I have consumed 4 columns. So now it will start with column 5, column span 1, level column span 4, and this has 1. So eight columns we have consumed. So it will be starting with 9. Column span, column span will be 3. Column span will be 4, and level span. So similarly, it has to be done for this one also. So 1 4 1 5 4 1 9 4 1. We'll save it. So like this, it should come in the left hand side. It should be coming. So when I refresh this, so like it, you can see it has moved to the left hand side a bit. Okay. So as we are uh,
Yeah,
creating
yeah.
a,
Can you tell me one more time that what you have evaluated for
see,
12
earlier what
columns?
was yeah, earlier what was happening, no? We had given the column, first of all, you should keep in mind, like there are 12 columns starting from this point till this point. And those 12 columns, if you s- count this, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So total 12 columns you have. So you want to allocate these 12 columns into to different items that you will create. So earlier what was happening, no, everything was selected as by default or automatic. So it was allocating more space to this column level than necessary. Right now it's allocating only one span. Earlier it was giving two spans, so it was employee name was coming slightly towards the right. Okay, so now I have hard coded this value. So all the levels will be getting only one column span to get itself accommodated, and then mm, uh, and the item itself will get three columns, yeah, from here till here. I could have used only two columns because you can see like this column is extra, right? So I could have moved the second set of columns from here. I could have started it here. So that would have saved a little bit more space. So like this we can do. So in the go back, if you go back to this, so you will see like the I have Earlier it was automatic, so I have hard coded it to start from column 1, and column span is like after column 1 4 column spans will be given to this particular column, 1 2 3 4, and out of those 4 column span, one will be used by the label and other 3 will be used by the item. So that is how we can define. So in the second row, if you go, so for the first item I have done the same thing, 141. The second item, as the first 4 columns have been used, second item will start from column 5, and it will have the same span and label span. So in the third column, now the 2 columns have used 4 plus 4 8 columns. It will start with column 9, and the span is 4 and the label is again 1. So that is how it is. I mean, not using the extra column which was earlier being used by the level.
Yeah,
So this
yeah,
is
yeah. Understood. Understood. Yeah,
what is this?
it's clear.
I will hide it. So now we have somebody has Anil has replied back. Let me please let me reply back on him. So now we have created this form. I mean the items. So what should be? I mean you can think of it like what all other things we need. We need a process which will read the value from these items, these different items, and insert that into the table. And before that, we also need a button which will actually call those processes. So, and how many buttons we need? Well, we need one create button for newly created employees. We need what? We need update button. But update button in case of update, we should be opening that from a report, right? In a form, I mean, you should be having a place from where you can actually launch your form for updates. So in this case, we cannot have updates, right? Because from where will we be sending that employee number, employee information to be updated? So we cannot have update here. We can just have create, and we can yeah, just we can just have create. That's it. So and maybe cancel, but cancel will take you to the home page. Yeah, those two buttons will define. So let me go back, and this home the same region I'll create a button. Okay, so this button name will be create. Okay, create. Okay, and what it does, see, if you open a button, it will show you what all different actions behavior. So it can submit a page, and it can redirect to a page in this application. So that is also I mean possible. And if you want to get redirected to a page in a different application in the same workspace, so you will not be asked for the re-login again. So it will be getting redirected. Redirect to a URL means, suppose if you have a URL like google.com, so you can put that URL and it will take you there. And defined by dynamic action. So defined by dynamic action means you will define certain dynamic actions that you want to perform on click of this button. So dynamic actions, as I told you, like can be used to do some client-side coding. Like if you want to hide something, if you want to make an AJAX call, so those things you can do using dynamic actions. So that is possible. And redirect to URL can also be used when you have a JavaScript function and you want to call that function from here on a button click. So you will select this option, and then in URL here you will give the JavaScript function name, and then you can use that. So right now I'm just required to submit the page, and that's it. So it will submit the page, and let me see where it is getting created. It is below the region, left hand side only. I should be putting it. So once I refresh this page, so there's a create button. So if I give anything here, right? So right now the process is not done, right? So even if I submit the page, it won't do anything. So if I just click on create, so this page will get submitted, but you won't be able to see any change in the table, because the table information I have not given from into which table the data should go. 16 earlier there was 16. If you do submit, it will be 16 only, because that process has to be written. Otherwise, it will not insert the data. So not now what I'm going to do, I'll create a page process. So page process is this page process will be a part of page processing section. Earlier we used to write everything here, that first page rendering. Then we have this page processing. So I will create a processing over here. Create a process and insert employee. Some name I have to give, and local date. This other things you leave it as that only. So I will insert into EMP uh, values. I'll put it like this. So I should be using colon whenever I'm sending a value, right? I should be selecting the colon. Otherwise, it will not get compiled. Ename, job, mgr, rate, salary, commission, department number. So it is as simple as that. So I think I should be putting one comma. Sorry. So this is done. So now the process is completed. If you this process will be executed whenever this page is submitted. So suppose you have multiple buttons, and this process will be called all the time whenever the page is submitted. So if you want to link it with a button, particular button, so you can select that button from this list. So only when the page is submitted through that button it will be called, otherwise it will not. So I will put a success message like employee got inserted. Okay. mm, some error occurred. Okay. So this is as simple as that. So after that, I'm not linking with a button. I can also link. I mean, to be on a safer side, you should link it with a button. And then after processing, you should create a branch. So suppose you submit the page. Once you submit it, you will be landing onto the same page again. So suppose you want to go to a home page. So home page is page one, right? So after submit, you want to get redirected to home page. So you will do one thing. You go to page one, or else we have created a report, right? So employee report. This is showing all the things. It will let's go to the page number 10, because we will get to see this the newly created record. So I will select as page 10. I was just thinking if we can pass the employee number as well. No, just the employee name will pass. Okay, filter we have, right? Here we have filters. So can we pass the employee name to this name? Let's see if it's working or not. So let's go to the form, and I'll put now my name only. Job is manager. Other things are fine. So let's select today's date. Commission 50. This much salary. Okay, and I will click on create. So it will give me a success. First, it will take me to the that page. So here you can see that employee value has come. So that this value has been passed from that page to this page, and based on this value passed value, it is filtering the data from that report and it is showing me the record which has just been inserted. Okay, so if you just count, do the count, right, so it will give you one more count, right, 17. And if you reset everything, so it will give you how many, how come, okay, first 15 are coming in here and then this one is coming there. Okay, so like this it will come. So let's go back to the form page again and let's see how many other things are needed in that page. I hope I'm not confusing you with so many things. If you
No,
feel
no,
like
no.
it's too
I'm
much for a day, you can always let me know, and we'll stop that session there, so that
no,
I
no,
mean,
no. I'm understanding everything.
okay. So, whenever I'm launching this page, these values are retaining, right? So what I will do, I will go back to the menu item because I want the old data to get removed. So navigation menu and desktop navigation menu form. So I want to clear the cache memory. So I have this option here. I will put this page number 50, and I will just refresh it. And whenever I'm clicking this, I will click this form option here. It will flush out all the details from this table. Okay. Or else what you can do, you can also write one clear session state process in the same page here. Once you click it, so what I'll just show it to you. What is that process name? So I will create a process. I will name as state, and it is nothing but a process type, and it will be clicked on button create. Okay, so this is done. So when I refresh this page now, whenever I will create a new thing, it will flush out the data after leaving it. So what all things you think is
So
mandatory?
basically, so create button has two different kind of process. One is to for insert and one is for to clear the session, right?
Yeah, so now this create button will run these two processes. First, it will run
Okay.
the insert employee, which will basically be inserting data into the table. Once this process has run, it will flush out the data from all the items in that page. So it will do two things because both this one is also linked with create and this one is also linked with create button. It will do two activities. Okay. So now there are a couple of things like in a form, what you think, like some data has been put in and you want to validate it, right? So suppose that you want to create an employee and that employee name is vacant. So that cannot be possible, right? So in that case, you should be putting one validation, right? You select that item over here in the tree, and then click on right click and create validation. Okay, uh, emp name not null. That is one type of validation. I will select the type of validation from this item. I have to select always execute, and then error message. I can give the label name, or I can put it like this: cannot be blank. So this error message will be thrown whenever uh, there is blank employee name given. So when I click on create, it will show me this message: employee name cannot be blank, right? So either you can show the error message on the error page here at the top right corner, or you can show it here at the both places. So there is an option, right? So in line with field, if you select, it will not come here at the top, and if you just create, right, so it will come over there. Here it will not be there. So then what all other things you think are mandatory? Like this thing is also mandatory, right? So let's job is select. Let's see if we have any and drop down for job. Yes, we do have. So job is can also be mandatory. Create validation job not null. So these are certain validations that you would like to create, because if these checks are not performed, your table will end up with having incorrect data or the wrong data. Cannot be blank. I would like to show it in the along with the field itself. So I will have to refresh it because I have just changed it to select list. So if I put some value here, I don't select anything from here. Then I click on create. So you can see like employee name validation has not run, but the job validation has run. So similarly, I will be doing a validation for manager mg mgr not null, which item mgr item, and I will use that message again.
That always execute yes and no.
Always execute yes and no. Sometimes I mean you can select this and go to the help. Always whether this validation is always setting this execution validation setting defined against the button that submitted the page. If set to no, this validation is only evaluated if the triggering button has an execute validation settings. So what happens now? There is a button, right? Create button. So if it is always execute as no, right? So if I do click on this button, and there would be an option to evaluate execute validation. If it is set to no, I'll save it. Hmm? It will get saved and it will skip the validation. So I will not create any validation. I will just click on create. So it will create it. Validation will be skipped. Okay. So you can
So
see like
so,
this
so
one.
yeah. So button level is button level validation. What is that? Is very important, right?
Button level validation. I did not get.
Button level you yeah execute validation this
Yeah,
behavior.
this is basically to skip the validation. So if you do the execute validation, if you do no, and here you have validation, this validation as always execute yes, then it will get executed. If it is no, then it will not get executed. So you should be either selecting all of this yes to make sure like these checks are done, or you select this always execute yes to make sure all the validations are performed.
Okay.
So like this, we can go back, and then now the validation will be run. So manager can not blank. Hire date. Suppose you want to default the value of the hire date. So what can we do? So hire date. Suppose let's assume like it's the same date on which the employee is getting hired. So there is an option if you go down, default, static, sysdate, today's date, right? So if you refresh it, no, this it should be PLC equals expression. So if you refresh that, it should be coming with today's date. Hmm? Salary, other things, department also. Department sometimes you can leave it blank because employee need not have a department at the time he joins in. So I will create a this thing. Job is president, manager is somebody, salary something, commission something else, department I will select something. I'll create it. So it will be because it is having a clear session state. No, it is not setting the value of that page. So when I click on Ishant Ford, some name. So other type of validation, custom validations also you can create by mainly. I'll show you like what this validation is. One of these, right? Types. You can select PLC equal expression, PLC equal if you have some customized stuff. So suppose the salary cannot be more than 5,000. So that validation you will use in PLC equal function body or some PLC equal expression. You can do that. If you don't find the type of validation that is there, so item is numeric. So I can use the item is numeric uh, with job salary and commission. So I will create a validation. Uh, Salary is numeric. Okay, so item is numeric. Okay, and this item is salary, must be numeric. Okay, so similar thing I will do with commission also. No, sorry, I should have clicked on create validation. Commission is numeric, item is numeric. Item I will select as commission, and label must be NU. Sorry, there's a typo, and in line with the field I will in line with the field I'll save it. Okay, once this is saved and you want to create something, and these things are mandatory, right? So if you put these things are blank, it will accept. But the moment you put some numeric value, right, and not numeric value, it will give you the like salary must be numeric, commission must be numeric. So like this kind of validation also you can perform. So most of the generic validations are already given in Apex. In case you do not find validation of your requirement meeting your requirement, you can always uh, go to that PLC equal expression or PLC equal function body. That type of validation you can do.
So we can call this as a custom validation, right?
Yeah, a
I
custom
mean,
validation is I mean whenever you are like writing your own logic inside a PLC equal expression or these first four things, so
okay,
that would be custom because you are writing that. Other type of validations are given, right?
yeah, right, right.
So you can
So
name
okay,
it as a inbuilt validation or something.
but in the interview, is there any question like that? What are the different kind of validation available in Oracle Apex, something like that?
Yes, you can say like most of the generic validations like the number validation, date validation, not null validation, range validation are already inbuilt. But in case suppose the type of validation that you're looking for is not available, you can always use the PL SQL expression or PL SQL function body return which returns the error text. So these are the first four types of
Okay,
returning boolean. These four types of this thing is you can use.
okay,
Okay, so like this we can create a form and also provide the validation. So Okay, that is one thing. Let me see what all things I wanted to cover today. Create a button, use different options available with button. Understand the branching. Branching is nothing but where you want to land after you submit a page. So this thing we have not created today. Create a form on a table. That is simple. It is very much simple. You can try it out. You can just select a table and see what happens. So write a page process like we wrote a page process to insert the data into a table. Mhm. Okay, so these all things we have done today. So in this page, what else we can do? Uh, in this page, so suppose you want to, mm, there's a button, right? It will submit the page. So this button can be changed to do certain other action, right? You can redirect to a URL. I'll show you what we can do. I had the code also right today. Where it is, not this one. Let me go back to my system. So I will write a function, JavaScript function. Do not get confused how do we write a JavaScript function. Just I want to show it to you. HTML header, what is it? HTML header I will put. So it should be inside JavaScript tag. So that script HTML script tag. It should be inside this one. I have written one JavaScript function. So script. Okay, so confirm save. This is okay. So I will sort. I will remove a couple of things. So I will remove these things. Confirm save and so Apex confirm is a JavaScript function which will ask for the user to create function if he really wants to change the create one. If he really wants to perform that action. So I will copy this function name. I'll do OK, and in this button, right, I create one I select. So I will not submit the page. I will redirect to URL. URL is JavaScript only, right? When I save this, it will ask me, do you want to create employee? If you do cancel, it won't go further. So if true, then okay, it will submit with the applied change. Okay, so it will create it. So I will not link it with a button. I will rather initiate request is equal to create one. So these all validations should also be uh, no, this is not linked to a button, so it will be executed. So when I refresh it again, right? So if I Prashant salary, the manager, something. So when I create this, if I do OK, so it will get created. And how come? Okay, it is resetting the value to this. So when I refresh it, I will be able to see. Uh, so it should be coming in the next page. So this one has got created, right? So like this also you can uh, provide one confirmation kind of thing before this page gets submitted. So that is one thing. So I will not ask you to repeat this kind of thing at the moment, because that is let's do it later on somewhere. And so I think for today's you have enough things to do. So let me see the content. So I will send you this thing. uh, you can practice it. So this content you can copy right now, and let's wrap it up to now only because you have enough uh, hands-on session for this. Deploy to here.
Yeah, yeah. Just hold on.
Okay. So let's call it a day, and then we'll connect again on Monday. Huh?
Uh, yep.
Fine.
Yeah, fine. Thank you.
Recording. I'm stopping now.
Okay, okay,
Saving to the cloud. Okay. Okay. You can log off. I'm all
okay.
set.